Hey you guys, it's Diane here with Pretty Bun Stuff YouTube channel, and today I would like to share with you a project that I made for the Graphic 45 Brand Ambassador Design Team Call for the year 2022 to 2023. So let's get started. So I have used the Graphic 45 Dreamland paper collection for my project. I also used the Graphic 45 die cut assortments. Love these. These are fabulous to have on hand. And then I also used one little chipboard piece. I used the heart. And here's a view of the chipboard. And then I have one here. This one fell down here, so I'll give you a look at that one. So there's the chipboard. And then one other little thing I used in this project is the Graphic 45 policy envelopes. So I used one of these. Now Graphic 45, this isn't available anymore. However, they have a die now that does a little policy envelope. And then also, if you don't have this, you can always use your envelope punch board and do a little envelope for this project. So there is the collection. And now let me show you my little art journal that I made using it. So here it is. So what I did on the front is I used the die cut assortments, and I popped this one up on foam and then these on pop dots so they have some dimension. And here's where I use that little chipboard piece with some really reasonable ribbon in there. So I just did a little collage of the die cuts, and I thought it turned out really pretty. So this is a little art journal. I used chipboard front and back cover. It measures 6 by 6. And I just covered the chipboard with designer paper. In the tutorial that follows, I will explain the discs and then how to use, how to get the notches in the papers. So that'll be in the tutorial. Let's open it up. And on the inside, you'll see the policy envelope that I used. I did dress it up with some pieces from the paper collection. Inside the envelope, I put in some more little die cuts and just an assortment of items that I'm going to use in my journal. So we got lots of little die cuts, cut aparts. This is from the border page. Here's from the die cut assortments, some butterflies and some hearts and just lots of different items. So I also included a little piece of watercolor paper, and I thought this might be good to maybe do a little swatch of my watercolors or my distress inks, or my crayons, Tim Holtz crayons, and just kind of play with the different colors that I may use in my little art journal. There's tags in this little journal, and these are the reinforcements. And I thought that I cut the tags out of the watercolor paper, so I thought I'd hang on to these in case I wanted to, paint them, watercolor them, ink them, and to match my tag when I get ready. So I have all my little items here that I might use for decorating my art journal. So I'm going to place all these little items back in the policy envelope and seal it up for use later. Now the first page in the art journal is I used a piece of the designer paper by Graphic 45, and I thought that paper is so pretty that I didn't want to cover it up. I just put a little small little tuck spot here in case I wanted to place a picture or something there. I could do so. And then when you turn the page, I have a pocket. And then I have lots of goodies in the pocket that I might want to use for my art journal. Here is the little tag that I cut out of the watercolor paper. So I can, as I'm creating this page, I can also maybe create a matching tag to go, because this is going to live here in this little pocket. So it'll, you know, kind of show. So I thought that would be cute to kind of match. Here on top of the pocket, I did use a die cut and pop it up on pop dots. So there's 4 pages of watercolor paper in between each designer paper. So I guess you could call them little signatures if you want. And the way this works is you can pop these pages out like this. Okay. They're really thick. This is watercolor paper. So when you get ready to use your paper, you place it like this, and you can use your collage medium with, you know, maybe a pretty napkin, or you can use your stencils with your modeling paste and your distress crayons, or your alcohol inks, or distress oxide, and your watercolors, and you can just go to town and create your art journal page. So once your journal page dries and it's ready to go, then you just take your little art journal, and this conveniently just pops right into place. So you can take it out and put it back in as many times as you want, and there you go. So I thought that was really a wonderful system for that. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of the journal. Another designer page by Graphic 45. Beautiful page. Another little tuck spot there. Open it up and turn the page, and then I have a little pocket with 2 tags in there. Again, I can as I'm creating this page, I can also play with these tags and have them match my page if I like. Alright, and then we have 4, 1, 2, 4 pages, and then another designer paper, another little tuck spot, and then turn the page, another pocket with the little tag that match. So again, I used a die cut and popped that up on pop dots for some dimension. And of course you can always use one of these tags and, you know, create with all these little cute little die cuts and cut aparts. And, you know, I mean, I might decide to maybe fussy cut her out and place her, and then do some stenciling and just have fun with your art journal. So, and, you know, you could use other collections. You know, each page could be a little different. So you don't have to keep the same paper going the whole time. So again, I have 4 pages here, and then here's another piece of the designer paper. This is a Little Mermaids, little tuck spot again, and then turn the page, and I have another pocket with 2 tags, and again you could match them. Another 4 pages, and then on the last page with the back cover, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to put a pocket here or what, so I decided to just put a little tuck spot using the border page with the Pegasus, and then I decided to make me another little swatch that I can use for my colors. And there you go. There is my little book, and on the back I have this paper on there, and then I put a little die cut here, and you could put maybe the year you start the journal and the year you finished it, or put a little dedication or something. So anyway, that is the little art journal that I created, and if you stay tuned, I will come back and we will get started on the tutorial. Okay, hang on. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go over the supplies that you're going to need. First of all, you're going to need at least an 8x8 paper pad. You could use a 12x12. This is Dreamland, and you will also need, if you want to put a chipboard piece like I did on the cover for decoration, you'll need the chipboard pieces, but I only used one. So if you don't have that, you can always use something from the paper, like a fussy cut, cut apart from the paper collection, and put that on there, or you could use a die cut. So, but you will need the die cut assortment, because I used quite a few of these in the project. So your main items is the paper and then the die cut assortment. You will also need your watercolor paper. This one is by Canson, and I think I got this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. If you don't have watercolor, you could also use the mixed media one. I do not recommend anything else, because this is an art journal. You're going to be using your paste and your collage medium, and your sprays and your inks and your watercolors, and so I would suggest either watercolor paper or mixed media paper. Okay, and then you will also need some scissors, maybe a pick, maybe some tape, because this will peel off, the double-sided tape, bone folder, sticky foam or foam dots if you want to pop something up, so you'll need that. You will also need, if you want to use a policy envelope, you'll need the Graphic 45 square policy envelopes. This is something that is an older item. If you don't have these, Graphic 45 makes a die similar to this. You can use a little, this is a small one, but it will still work. Or you could use your envelope punch board, or just a small envelope you may have in your stash. So that would work too. Okay, then the other items you'll need is some kind of tag. When I originally was working on this, I had that thick watercolor paper, and I didn't think the thin lit dies would cut through the watercolor, so I picked this up thinking, I could cut 2 at a time, and I did, and it worked great. But of course, a thin lit die isn't going to cut 2 watercolor tags at the same time. You have to do each one individually. But this is the tag die that I used. Graphic 45 also makes tags. This little one would work, although it would be small in the pockets, but that would work. You could also use the regular size tag too, although it's a little big for the pockets. So, but any kind of tag die that you have would work for this project. All right, then for your chipboard, you're going to need some kind of box, like cereal box. This is, of course, a granola bar box. You're going to need a box. The chipboard is too thick to go in the punch. So you're going to need something a little thinner than chipboard. Maybe a lightweight chipboard might work. I do not have any of that. I just use the cereal box. But definitely lightweight chipboard. Now, something else you also need is you're going to need your cutter. Okay, I put that over here on the side. And then you're also going to need the Happy Planner punch. This punches the holes for the binding system. Okay, this I got from scrapbook.com. It's fairly reasonably priced. It's a 9-hole punch. I'm going to turn it over, and there is the SKU right here. That's the information. So it's by me and my big ideas. So of course it gives you the guidelines for it. But that's what it is. It's a Happy Planner punch, and it looks like this. Okay. And then you'll also need your discs. Now, these are the mini discs. I got these at scrapbook.com. I got a package that contained 2, 4, 6 different colors. And as you can see, I didn't even use half of them yet for this. So, I think I'm going to use Ephemera Queen for the next one. But let me show you how big they are. So here is my planner, and this is the regular size disc. Look how tiny the ones are for the art journal. So that's when I say mini, they are mini. Okay, so you want to get the mini discs. All right, and that's it. That's the supplies, I think. So we are going to use these today because I'm changing the paper. So we are going to use Ephemera Queen. All right, and the next thing we're going to do is trim down our paper. So here's our covers, and then you're going to need 16 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 of your mixed media or watercolor paper. So when you make your first cut, cut it this way, 5 3/4. Okay, cut it this way so that you have this long piece left over. Okay, and then you'll cut it the other way. So you want this piece, I've already got all mine cut. So you want this piece, you want to cut that first. So you have this left over, because that's where you're going to cut your tags out of. See how I have both tags cut out of that scrap. Okay, so that's what you want to do. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is punch our holes in our cover and our papers. So I have my 16 papers here. I've already cut my tags, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tags. Okay, and then this is going to be our disc. And so we're going to go ahead and punch the holes in our cover. Okay, so if you tilt it and you look at it, you just want to make sure that it's going in and it's even. And I want to make sure I'm even here and even over here. All right, that's all. That's all. I'm making sure it's all the way down and I'm even. I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing it. I just want to make sure I'm even, because it's not going to matter. Even if you are off just a tiny bit, it's not going to matter. But you want to make sure it's all the way in, and then you're even on each side. Now I'm going to punch this, and this is what it looks like. Okay, then I'm going to do my back cover the same way. Let's see. So that's the front, that's the back, so I want to cut it here on this side. Alright, make sure it's even again. Hope y'all can see that. Alright, and I'm punch. There. Alright, so now I have my front and my back covers. And we'll cover this with designer paper. Alright, if you want to use this side, you know, you can. I'm probably going to layer mine. I may layer mine a couple layers this time. So we'll see. Then you're going to cut all your 16 watercolor sheets. This is going to take a little while, so I may speed up the video. But yeah, so it'll take you a while to cut all these and to punch them all. So I'll go ahead and do one because this is a little bit smaller. And if you notice, it's going to be a little bit tighter fit here. You just want to get it even. See how I have that even? See if I can bring it up for you. See how it's even? That's what you want. You just want to make sure it's in there and that it's even. Okay, and punch. There you go. So I am going to do all these. Get all these punched. And I'll be right back to ya. Second art journal. The first one, of course, was this one, and I decided I didn't want two art journals exactly the same, so I'm going to use Ephemera Queen for the tutorial. So you'll need the 12 by 12 Ephemera Queen collection. If you want to use the 8 by 8, if you prefer the 8 by 8, by all means do the 8 by 8. You'll also need the patterns and solids in Ephemera Queen. Then I am going to use some of the sticker sheet. This is included in the 12 by 12 Ephemera Queen collection pack, so you should not have to buy these separately. They should be in your pack. You may have to buy the chipboard separately if you want chipboard. We don't have to use it. I don't know if I'm gonna use it, but if you want it, then by all means. I may not use it for this art journal though. I most likely will use the die cut assortment. In fact, I know I will use the die cut assortment, so you definitely want to have this on hand. And then the other thing I think I'm going to use is the Spellbinders die. This is an Amazing Grace die. Here's the number. I did get this on sale at Hobby Lobby. You can use any decorative die. I'm thinking you might want a square decorative die. An oval would work also with what I'm going to do. This is for the cover. So if you want to use a fancy die, you can do that. Okay, so something I discovered in starting to put this together, and originally I was using this clean box that I had gotten. It had some granola bars in it. And I was going to layer up 2 layers. However, whenever I went to go punch, it wasn't fitting in the punch. So don't do that. 1 layer, you can only layer 1 layer. And another thing, this one is thicker than this last one I used. This one's a lot thinner. This is more like a cereal box weight. Whereas this one's just a tiny bit, I think it's just a tiny bit thicker than the cereal box. So if you have you want to try to find the thinnest little packaging that you can find for this, because you're only going to be able to put 1 sheet and then punch. You're not going to be able to layer your papers. So I found that this one with the double was just not working, so I scrapped that and I'm using a cereal box. So I recut my front and back cover, and we're going to give this a try, and I hope that this works. And I'm not going to layer more than 1 sheet of paper because it just didn't want to fit in there. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to place this. This is a 6x6. I cut it the same. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and let's hope that this is going to go through it. I didn't have any problem with that this first journal. So you just want to make sure, you know what would work good too? I bet it's like a file folder. A file folder is thin enough. That would work really well. So a file folder, any thin board. So I'm going to put this down pretty good. You want to make sure it's even. I did ink my edges with Tim Holtz Vintage Photo Distress ink. Now this first paper that I'm using is called a winning hand. Okay, this is in the collection pack. All right, see, it has the cards on the back. So I think I cut it like this. No, so it was like this. So it's the part with the shoe and the fan at the top. Okay. I'm going to try to punch this now, and then we'll do the second. So I'm going to go ahead and try to punch this. See if I can get it in the same spot. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, I got it pretty close. Alright, so that went in no problem. Now we're going to do this one. And I want this side. Okay, this is the front. Turn it over. This is the inside front cover. Alright. I'm running out of my little ATG tape. That's okay. Alright. I'm just going to use glue for this. It'll be a little faster anyway. Make sure you get the edges pretty good. Alright. So this is inside, and I'll tell you the name of this paper in just a second. Okay, the name of this one is I think it's the pearl. I already cut off the little strips, so I was like, I think it's the pearl paper, string of pearls. That's it. And I'm using the B side of string of pearls. Okay, so that's that one. Now, it's not perfect, but it's handmade. I'm not going to stress about it. Alright, I'm going to punch this. Let's hope it goes in here, because I think this is the maximum thickness. Make sure that's really good. Oh, it went in. Alright, now I need to make it even. It's very tight fit. I am having trouble with this one. I didn't have any trouble with the first one. Alright, let's try it. Oh, okay. It worked. Shoo. It worked. So we got it. It's not perfect, but that's okay. You're not going to notice it. So all my little confetti. And they look like little mushrooms. Isn't that cute? They look like little mushrooms. And I've been keeping the colored ones for shaker bits. So anyway, I'm going to set some of those aside. Too cute. Alright. And I have my little shaker bits here. That way I can use them in a, I don't need those, in a, well, I'm trying to think of a shaker card. Isn't that cute? And you have little shaker bits. So we made it just barely. It was a little tough getting it in there. You just want to make sure whatever chipboard or cereal board you're using, it's thin. I would suggest maybe a file folder, or you could even use 110-pound cardstock. That's what I would use in the future, so I wouldn't have that problem. But we're going to do it again because we got the back cover. So on the back cover, I am going to use, so this is the front cover, and this will be our back cover, because I want the insides to match. Okay. So that's going to be the back cover. So we'll do that in a little bit. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and work on our envelope here. So this is the Graphic 45 policy envelope. If you would like to make a pocket here, you can do that, or you can put in maybe a little decorative envelope. This is a, let's see if a 4x6, that doesn't quite work. So you'd want a smaller envelope than a 4.5 by 5. What is this? 5 3/4 by 4.5. Yeah, you'd want a smaller envelope than that. You could definitely make one with your envelope punch board. You can make an envelope to go there. You can do a pocket, or like I said earlier, you could do a little policy. If you have a die that does a policy envelope, you could do that. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize this Graphic 45 policy envelope, and I'm just going to glue it down. Just going to glue it down, and then we'll decorate it. You could do the other, you could do either, no, do this side, glue this side down, because we want to decorate the little holder here. Alright, get that even. Looks pretty good to me. And I'm going to put a couple of little weights on here while I wait for that to dry. Okay, now the next paper that we're going to use is this one with the yellow flowers. This one is called Simply the Best. So that's your next piece. This measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay. And we're just going to punch that. Make sure it's even in the punch. Alright, there you go. So I punched my holes. Now, this is going to go like this in the book. Then what you're going to do is cut a piece of this. This is called Treat Yourself. Now I did cut a piece of that already. You're going to want to cut a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 of that. And you're going to cut this 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so this is 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. And if you have an envelope punch board, to get the notch here, I've already figured out for you. You're gonna place it here, the long side, the 5 3/4, and you're gonna punch at 2 7/8. So find 2 7/8, line it up, and then you're gonna punch. Okay, 2 7/8 and punch, and that'll be in the center, and then you can ink around your edges. Okay, if you don't have an envelope punch, take a circle punch, and you can put this in there, and you can either, I normally just eyeball it, and then you punch that, and then you'll have a little circle punch there. But we're going to go ahead and glue this down. So I'm just going to put glue on 3 sides like this. Okay. And we're going to place this down right here, and this will hold all our little ephemera pieces and such. Okay, simple as that. Now if you want your pocket to be a little thicker, you can put you can cut a piece of paper, scrap paper. Let me show you this real quick. Little tip. What you do is you take a little piece of scrap paper, do it the length. I should cut this one too short, but do it the length. You're gonna score it in half, and you glue this in on the inside of your pocket, and that creates more of a pocket. I did that to here, and it creates more. So you can see my little tab there. It creates where you could put more in the pocket. I noticed though that it made this one a little too loose, so it's like I need some thicker stuff in the pocket so that won't move around so much. So I figure on this one I'm just gonna leave it. See, that goes in very nicely. So any cut aparts or anything from the collection that I want to put in there, that'll go in very nicely. So I decided to change that on the ephemera queen. So I'm just gluing the pocket straight down. Okay, and I have my tag. Go ahead and stick that in there. So that's ready to go, because the next page will be 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you should already have those cut. And see, even though they're not punched exactly right, once they're in the little album, it's not going to make any difference. Oh, I need to punch this. Yeah, we got to punch those. So let's put that in here and make it even again. Punch. There we go. That looks right now. Okay. So they're not exactly perfectly lined up, but it's not going to matter once it's in the book. Alright. So we have our cover, our policy envelope, and we'll decorate that in a minute. Then we have our first page with the designer paper. We made our pocket, so that'll go there. And then we have 4 watercolor pages. Okay, and those will go next. Then our next paper is going to be string of pearls, if I remember correctly. And see, now on the other side it's directional, so you want to make sure you're placing it where, you know, you see the little words. So I'm going to go ahead and punch on this side. We'll punch it. And it just works out so much better just punching one page at a time. So that'll go in there. Now this one, our pocket is vertical. See how in? So this one will need to make a vertical pocket. So I've already cut this out. This is from the Patterns and Solids. No, it's not. It's from, let me get the right page for you. Okay, here it is. It's from A Winning Hand. Okay, and that's going to be this bottom corner here where the Eiffel Tower is. Okay, and if you noticed, I wanted to get the whole Eiffel Tower. So I went in and cut it at right at 6. Okay, and I made sure that I cut in right above the flag. And then to get my page is only 5 3/4. So then I'll put this back in the trimmer and I trimmed off 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so now it measures 5 3/4. Alright, and then I put it in my envelope punch board and I punched it at 2 7/8. If you would rather use a circle punch, you could definitely do that and just punch it for a circle notch. Okay, and then this pocket will go on this side of the page. Alright, I've already inked the edges, so let's go ahead and put that in there. So just put glue just on the outer side, on the 3 sides, like this. Okay, that's all you need to do. And then we're going to place this right here. Okay, just like that. Simple. Alright, and now I have my 2 tags, and we will place them just like this. Isn't that cute? So that page is done. Alright, then you're going to do 4 watercolor pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then those go there. Now our next page, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and this page is called right here, Les Chapeaux. I probably butchered that. So anyway, that's the paper. Let's go ahead and punch where we need it to be. Make sure it's even. And there, like I've been showing you. Alright. And this I have not decided. Oh yes, I have decided what pocket. So this one, okay, so here's our sample. So this pocket's going to go at the bottom, okay? So here's our designer paper. It's going to be on the front. Now we're going to do our pocket right here. So I think I would like this floral. Okay. This is called Simply the Best. Okay. Simply the Best. And I am going to, I have not cut this yet. The other ones I had prepared. It's 2 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this 2 3/4. Okay. And it's 5 3/4. Can y'all see that? There we go. 5 3/4. Okay. I'll set that aside. So that's going to go just like that. Then I have my envelope punch board. We're going to punch it at 2 7/8. 2 7/8. So it's right 2 7/8. Punch that. That's ready to go. If you want to use a circle punch, you could definitely do that. Okay, and punch it, and then we'll ink our edges. I just use a little makeup brush and it works just fine. You do need to change this out after a while because you get little things that come off of it, but it's okay. All right, so now I'm going to place this pocket right here. And I'm going to turn it because it'll be easier for me to line up. And I am going to I recommend using glue for your pockets and not tape, okay? Because tape doesn't ever dry, so your items that you place in there could stick to the tape. So glue is a better option. So we're going to put this right here. Okay, we'll punch this out in just a minute. Super cute. Okay, now we'll get our punch. Go ahead and line it up. Okay, and that's the next page. Just like that. And you need 4 more pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll go like that. Alright, then the next page, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. This is called Treat Yourself. We're going to go ahead and punch. So this really is a pretty simple project. Alright, so that's going to go like that. I don't have any paper selected for this yet. So, how about the hats? That would look really cute. Let's do the hats for the pocket. Alright, and this is the name of it. Oh, it's, yeah, that funny name I can't pronounce. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the branding strip. Okay. And I think it was 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Five 3/4. Ooh, I got the green one in there. Yay. 5 3/4. And that was pretty perfect there. Alright. I'm going to ink the, oh, let me punch. Need to punch it. So 2 7/8. Okay, and then we'll ink the edges of this. Okay, there we go. And then this pocket goes on the side. This pocket goes like this. Oh, I went the wrong direction. Look, you guys. Okay, that's that direction. That's on the side. That's that. Yep. Okay, I can't do that. I can't do that. So, let's see. I really like to get that green one in there. Nice. Look at this. 2 3/4. I almost get that green one in there. Alright, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, let's cut off that branding strip. I just can't have it going the wrong direction. I have to make sure it's going the right direction. And I like the hat, so I do want to utilize the hat. So I'm going to cut this to 5 3/4. And I'm going to cut a sliver of that off. So I'm going to cut this 5 3/4. Five and 3/4. All right. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking. I was debating. All right, and I'm going, since I want to get that little hat in there, so I need 2 3/4. I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch off, and I can use it for something else. You always need a strip of something, so I can always use that on a little piece of when I make embellishments. So I hang on to all that stuff. All right, 2 3/4. There we go. It's going the right direction now. Alright. So I had to do that. I just could not. I couldn't do the other way. So that's okay. So now it's going the right direction. Envelope punch board. That's good that you see me make a mistake, because if you watch this through, all the way through, you won't make a mistake like I just did. So, but I can always use that little pocket somewhere else. I cut the paper down and I'll find some use for it. Nothing is wasted, even when you make a mistake. Alright, let's put this on here. Okay, and then that'll go down just like that. How cute is that? Super cute. Love it. And I even got the little sentiment there. So that's kind of cool. Alright. Did we put a tag in this pocket? No, we didn't. Let's put a tag in this pocket. There we go. And then this one gets 2 tags. One here. And one here. So cute. There we go. Alright. Like that. And now we are on to the cover. Okay, so all our pages are done. Alright, I'm going to set this aside and we are going to do the inside back cover, and I'm going to ink the edges of this paper because they haven't been done yet. And this is from the Patterns and Solids page. It's the pink with the writing on it. So see, it's solid on that side. Alright, hang on. This is the outside of the, and this is the inside. So, because I want the inside, I want it to be blue. Okay, so this is going to go like this. And we're going to put the blue here. You see what I'm doing? This is what I'm checking. You always want, you always want to check. So this is the inside front cover and this is the inside back cover. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that on. I think I made an extra tag, unless I forgot to put a tag in one of the pockets. Okay, got glue on there, and we are going to place this right over the top, lining everything up. Oh. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. Alright. Let's go ahead and varnish that down. Super cute. And we'll put a pocket on here, decorate it or something in a bit. Okay, that's down. Looks good. Edges are even. Shifted on me just a tiny bit. All right, let's go ahead and punch. Let's go ahead and punch these. Okay, punched fairly well. Now we'll do the other side. So this is going to be like this because it's the inside. Now this is going to go on the outside. So I want to make sure I'm facing the right direction. And I think I inked the edges. Yeah, I did. Okay, place that on there, make sure it's even. Okay. Yay, got it pretty good. All right. Now we need to punch it. The moment of truth. The moment of truth. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. And let's just make sure it is a tight fit. It went in and it's even. It's even, it went in. Okay, you'll see that? Okay, I'm gonna punch. Oop, bumped you. I'm being real careful taking it out because it is sticking. It is sticky. You got to be real. Oh, this one is giving me trouble. And it's damaged just a little bit. So, yeah, that is the maximum that it will take. But you're really not going to notice that once the rings are in. Just make sure, and I probably should have waited a little while longer for the glue to dry, completely before I did that. So when you're at home, I tell you what, use 110-pound weight cardstock for your covers, and just, you can layer a piece of your designer paper, and then after you punch your holes, you can layer like a 5.5 by 5.5 or a 5 1/4. I would do 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then you could layer it up that way if you wanted to add another color to your covers. Okay, so there you go. There's the base of the album with our pages, our watercolor pages in there. If you want to put some glue in between here, you can surely do that and make it a double pocket. There's the next one, and then this one, and then there we go. Now let's put the rings on. I'm going to alternate the colors. So we'll do the teal, pink, teal, pink, teal, pink. So we're only using six rings, and I think you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you get 8, 9, 10, 11 in each color. Yeah, 11 in each color. So I just think they're very cute, you know. And whoever thought of this was a genius. They're a genius. I'm going to start with pink. Alright, so the way you do, I'm going to do our cover first. So all you got to do, am I on camera? Okay. All you got to do is just punch it. Put it, it just kind of lays on the rim. You see that? It just kind of, lays on the rim, and it holds. So, like that. See? Just kind of laying there is all it does. Super cute. Love it. Okay. And you can do several pages at a time. You know what? I forgot 4 of my pages. We need 4 pages right here. You know what? I think it's easier just to do them one at a time. They just pop right in. All right. So I hope y'all like this little idea. I would like to maybe do a separate video of me creating in the art journal. So we'll see if I have time to do that here coming up. See how it just pops in there? It's pretty quick. There's this page. The thinner pages definitely go in a little easier. And of course you could make this as thick as if you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. If you think this is too many pages or if it's getting too thick, you can always take out some of the watercolor paper and make another journal, But I think this is a good size. I don't think it's going to get too thick. It might if you add a lot of like elements, like three-dimensional elements, it may get a little thick for that. Yeah, see, this is having a little, because this chipboard is a little thicker, it was having, there we go. There is the little album. All we gotta do is decorate it. If you want to decorate the cover just like this, you can do that. I'm not gonna do that on this little, on the Ephemera Queen one, but I pulled all the pieces so you could kind of see. So this would go there, then this piece would go here, and I found this one's blue on one side and colorful on the other, so you could put it here. Then there's this little piece to go there. And then, of course, the little chipboard. If you have the chipboard, it's the little doves, which would go right in there. That would look really pretty. And then these. And then this one. This one's going a little bit different direction, but that's okay. I would use that side. And then, hang on. Here is the little blue butterfly. And then there is this other piece here. I am going to use this. But you could do that. And then the little flower. And I was going to probably use, I don't know if I'd use the red side or the blue side. I'd probably ink around the edges, so that blue side would pop out better, but there might be a yellow flower in there in the package. But anyway, you get the idea. So if you wanted to recreate this ensemble, you could do that with any of the die cut assortments in any of the collections. So I just wanted to show you that. However, I'm going to decorate this differently. I'm not going to do the same, but this does give you the idea. You could duplicate it. All right, you guys, that's it. Hey you guys, it's Diane. Okay, I'm back for my reveal of the Ephemera Queen art journal that I created. This is the Dreamland journal. And here is the Ephemera Queen. Isn't it lovely? So I really liked how the front turned out. This is that Spellbinders die that I showed y'all earlier in the supply list. The roses I fussy cut from the paper, the 12 by 12 paper. This is a die cut, and so is this. So are the butterflies. So I just placed those where I thought they looked nice. I added some Graphic 45 gold pearls and then some pearls I had in my stash. This particular image is from the journaling cards. Now there is a die cut that you could use if you don't have the journaling cards. I like this one for the size. There is a picture of her in the 12 by 12 pack that you could cut out that's pretty close to this size. So depending on what die cut you use, whether you use an oval or a circle for your cover, you can coordinate that accordingly. So that's what I did. Let's open it up, and it's built, of course, the same way as the Dreamland album. So here I have the policy envelope. I fussy cut this from the paper, and then you open this up, and this is where I have my swatch card, and then all my little die cut assortments that I might want to use on my pages. And then I even have my little tag reinforcers in there too. So that's what's in there, and we'll just seal that up real quick. And so the first page here, I just created a little tuck spot. This is the sticker from the sticker sheet. I backed it with some of the paper. I used an oval die cut to cut that out and just create a little tuck spot there. So the next page here is the little pocket. Here's that die cut. And I tried it with this, and I didn't like it as well as I liked the gold. So I decided to just stick this. Maybe I'll use it somewhere in the art journal, and I'll just stick it in here for possible later use. These are some of the die cut assortments. Here's that one I was thinking of. You could even use this for your cover and use an oval or circle die behind it. So all this lives in here, and then you have your 4 art journal pages. Then here I decided to, if I wanted to put a picture in this one, and I left that opened for a picture so you could slip in a picture there. So I liked how that turned out. And then again you have here you have your little 2 tag pockets. So it's actually 1 pocket, just 2 tags. So, and then I just put a sticker from the sticker sheet there. And then of course you have your 4 pages. And then the next page, here's with all the hats. And I used a die cut, and then this is from the 12 by 12 paper. Another little pocket. I put if the shoe fits. Here's some more, of course, this is from the paper, and all these are little die cuts, and just stick all those in there. 4 pages again, and here's another one. So every other one matches. And then this is open for a picture. So I thought that turned out cute. Here's your double tag page. And then the last is on the back cover. I decided to make a slant pocket, and here I just have a tag and some of the ephemera, and then of course another watercolor swatch or color swatch paper. So there you go, and I used a sticker from the sticker sheet there. And then on the back I put a label for the year. And we are done. So that is the final Ephemera Queen art journal. Here is the Dreamland art journal. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this project share and tutorial. And be sure to like and subscribe. Go over to the Graphic 45 website. It's g45papers.com to get more inspiration, and Thanks again for joining me. Y'all take care. Have a great day. This is Diane with Pretty Fun Stuff YouTube channel. Take care. Bye-bye.